Okay, guys. So in our demo class here, in our demo class, we have created one more object, ACT3. Okay, we are assigning account number, ACT3 dot account number copy of ACT3 object. We are assigning it value 3. Then we are calling deposit amount with the reference of ACT3 and we are depositing 1000 rupees. Then we are withdrawing 2000 rupees. So here the scenario is going to be like you have 1000 rupees in account, whereas withdrawal what you are making is 2000 rupees. That is more than what you have available in your account. Then we are retrieving the balance, and here we will change our our just message a bit like after previous withdrawal account number ACT3 dot account number has balance rupees whatever it is, right? So that is what we are changing our uh, message into. Now let's compile this program and run it and let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm compiling now Java C space, then I'll say hyphen cp space control C, and then I have to compile, right? So the compilation we are going to do of this file and not of account class because we have not done any changes there, right? So I'll just mention the path of my account system demo.java. Compilation is all good. Now we have got the class file created here, account demo class. So let's shift it in its package so that we can execute. So I'm overwriting the previous version. All good. Now let's run. So Java space hyphen cp space path of our Java programs directory space package name dot class name. Right? Now let's run. Now let's understand the output, guys. The output of first two objects, it's all good there. ACT1.account number 1 for the first object. Then we are depositing 1000 rupees. We are withdrawing 500 rupees. So after withdrawal, we are getting balance shown as 500 rupees. That is all good. Related to account 2. So 2000 rupees, then 1000 rupees. Okay, 2000 rupees. We are depositing 1000 rupees. We are withdrawing. So our balance has become 1000 rupees. So this is also all fine. Now let's understand the output of this third object. So where we are depositing 1000 rupees and making our balance as 1000, we are withdrawing 2000 rupees. So here we are placing a request to withdraw more amount than what we have in our account. Okay, so here if you see the logic of our withdraw amount withdraw method, I'll just show you that. So here see, so here the balance minus amount. So balance is right now 1000 rupees. We are withdrawing 2000 rupees. So it is taking our balance into negative, right? So that's why we are getting this balance shown here as minus 1000. Now which is not right, like though like the computation is correct, like 1000 minus 2000 is minus 1000, absolutely right. But when we think about the context of our application, the banking application, right? So where we if we try to withdraw more amount than what we have in our account, right? So our withdrawal request actually gets rejected. Bank doesn't put our balance into negative. It's like that ATM machine says that it gives some error to us, right? But it doesn't process the withdrawal request, isn't it? But right now we do not have any kind of a check here. we don't have any check like how much money we are trying to withdraw and do we have the sufficient balance or not. We don't have that check, right? That's why our balance is getting into negative. Now we are going to implement this, like this is a bug right now. Now we are going to implement a check here. So how are we going to do that? Let's see. So I'll just put if there. So if balance, whatever balance I have, right? If balance is greater than equal to, like even equal to of the amount you are trying to withdraw, if the balance is equal to that is also fine, but it either has to be greater or equal, then only the withdrawal should be processed, right? So if balance is greater than or equal to amount you are asking to withdraw, then only a withdrawal should happen, right? So this is what the change we have done. Now we have done the changes in our account class. Now let's do CLS, compile our account class now. Let's compile our account.java, account.java, right? So I'm compiling my account.java. Account.java got compiled. We got the class file. Control X. Let's shift it into the package folder. Place. All good, right? Now there are no changes in our demo class. We haven't done any changes here, so no need to compile it. We have done only changes in our account class, which we have compiled and put it in our package folder. Now let's run the demo. Okay, now let's understand. Now the output is changed. If you see, the output of our third object is changed now. Now let's get into understanding the output of third object. There is no change here with respect to account 1 and account 2 objects. Only the change is here. So ACD3, we have 1000 rupees deposit. We have deposited 1000 rupees and we are withdrawing 2000 rupees. Now let's understand what has happened here. So we have got 2000 here and our balance is 1000. So if 1000 is greater than equal to 2000, no, it is not. Hence this didn't get processed. This statement didn't get executed and hence our balance remained 1000 only. Before calling withdraw amount, our balance was 1000. After withdrawal also it is same, like that, because there is no withdrawal got processed. It got actually rejected, the withdrawal request, right? Now if you see the output here, like here the withdrawal got rejected and then we are getting the balance. Basically these two statements are meant for knowing the balance after withdrawal request, right? Now here it is getting the balance, current balance, but the current balance is again the same which was there previously, like which whatever the balance was there before we exercise this withdraw request, right? So the balance is same, right? So these two statements are giving us the status of our account which was there prior to providing the withdraw amount. But what our message says, after previous withdrawal, account number so and so has balance so and so. But actually withdrawal is not at all got processed. It got actually rejected, but still these two statements got printed, and this is something misleading. What user will think that the if he sees this message, he might think that okay, the withdrawal actually got processed and this is the balance now I have got after the withdrawal which I had asked for, but which is not the case. The withdrawal actually has got rejected, guys, if you see here. But what has happened here inside this method, there is no indication or there is no knowledge of what has happened here inside this implementation or in this method. Whatever has happened, that indication or that information this particular method is not having. Basically this particular method in a flow, right, it is printing the balance after withdrawal, right? But whether this withdrawal inside the implementation of this method has been processed or it has been rejected, what has happened inside with that withdrawal request, the knowledge of that this method needs, then only it can decide, because this method actually now need to decide whether to print these two statements or not. Now it makes only sense to go ahead with these two statements only and only if the withdrawal got processed successfully. If the withdrawal itself got rejected, then what is the point in saying that the balance after withdrawal is so and so, where your withdrawal was not indeed processed, right? So now this method wants to decide whether to print these or to execute these two statements or not, based on whatever has happened here inside the implementation of this method. Inside this method, if the method has processed the withdrawal, then my this particular method wants to continue with the execution of these two statements. If the withdrawal has been rejected, then my this particular method, main method, don't want to go ahead with this two statements, right? Isn't it? But the real fact is, now the way we have handled the scenario, the rejection of the withdrawal, how are we deciding whether to allow the withdrawal or to reject, is based on this if statement. Now if you handle it with this, with the help of this if statement, the scenario is being handled, no doubt about that. Our withdrawal is being done only if we have the sufficient balance, but we do not have any way to pass on that indication to our caller. That is the main problem for our implementation, because my this particular method's next statements depends upon what has happened inside this. This is a very critical requirement, guys. Please understand the scenario here, right? So our purpose has been solved by using this if statement. There is no doubt about that. But my this particular method has few statements after it which depends upon what has happened inside here. Like in different scenario, like one scenario the withdrawal would be processed, in another scenario withdrawal would be rejected. But based on whatever has happened inside, my this particular caller method wants to decide what to do next. But now we do not have that way of sending that information what has happened here inside to our caller. And now that is what we are now going to discuss, and I mean the solution to this. What we have that solution. Like, we are going to change the implementation of this scenario in a way that whatever has happened here inside, that information we can pass on to this caller, and based on that information my caller can decide whether to go ahead with these two statements or not to go ahead with them, right? And that is where, guys, exception handling comes into picture. Now we are going to understand exception handling. This is the scenario where we need it. But first we are going to understand, in our next video we are going to first understand what is exception, then why to handle those exceptions, then how to handle those exceptions, and then we are again going to come back here to implement whatever we have learned with respect to exceptions, right?